Hey, welcome in everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Elvis Workshop. Trying to get back to normal videos. Today, the Elvis movie was nominated for, count them, 8 Academy Awards. That is very, very exciting news, and I'm going to talk mostly about that in this video. But I did want to circle back to the memorial from the other day and to speak specifically about the Axl Rose performance of November Rain. I have not seen any negativity on my own social media, but I have heard about it from other people that his performance was not great, and I just wanted to address that. One is it wasn't a concert. Let's just start there. It was a memorial. It's not supposed to be over the top. It's not supposed to be dramatic. Axl was friends with Lisa. We don't know how long he was a friend of hers and how good of a friend that they were, but they were obviously tight enough to where she said to at least somebody that when she died, she wanted Axl to perform at her funeral and to perform this specific song, and he did it. For those of you that don't know, he's a big Elvis fan. Look at this photo right here of this tattoo. It's taken directly from this photo of Elvis with his insignia on his military hat. He has covered Elvis songs with Guns N' Roses. You may not know that. Do a little research on the internet. Heartbreak Hotel, there's at least one more that Guns N' Roses has covered, and it goes back to Axl being a big Elvis fan. And for him to perform at Lisa's funeral or memorial at Graceland in front of these people, her family, her close friends, in front of Graceland itself, near Elvis's grave, it had to be extremely intimidating, and he said so much when he gave his speech. He was extremely nervous. He was shattered emotionally. It was very, very hard for him. And it was cold. It wasn't freezing cold, but for a singer, that can affect your vocals. Listen, I've seen Guns N' Roses multiple times myself in concert. It was not his best vocal performance ever, but being there live and watching it live, it was spectacular. It really was. I knew listening to it that it wasn't up to his normal standards, but considering the situation and the environment that we were in, it was great. It's easy to look back on the video later, watch the video and critique it, but you have to live in the moment and realize what was going on in that moment inside his head and his heart and everything around him while he was sitting at that piano. It had to be extremely intimidating and nerve-wracking for him to sit down. It wasn't just a blank audience that he was performing to. A lot of these performers, you have to keep in mind, to them it's their nightly gig, and when they're in a stadium or an arena, it's dark, and all they see when they look out is pitch black. Well, this was middle of the day, and he knew that everybody was looking at him, and when he looked out in the crowd, he could see all these mourning people, and it had to be extremely overwhelming for him. So give the guy a little slack. Listen, in the past, he's done a lot to deserve our wrath as fans, but this is not one of those moments. So let it go. You know, just take it for what it was, appreciate it for what it was, and move on. So speaking of moving on, 8 Academy Awards. How awesome is that? So I am not a fan of awards shows. I think it's a bunch of self-indulgent, out-of-touch celebrities patting themselves on the back and giving themselves little trophies. I really am not a big fan of awards shows. However, with that being said, I think it's pretty cool being an Elvis fan to see this Elvis movie be appreciated by said award shows. So I still hate them. I really do. I really do. But it is pretty cool to see this movie get these award nominations, and I hope that it sweeps. I don't think it's going to sweep, but I hope it at least wins the big ones. So I want to talk about them. I did make a couple notes. You might see me look down here. I don't want to forget anything, and there's a lot to talk about. So I'm going to show you a few images. These were posted on Baz Luhrmann's Facebook page. So I'm giving him credit of where I got them from. I'm not just ripping them off or stealing them from the internet. I took them from Baz's page to showcase these. So the first one that is up there is Best Sound. So these music scenes, the concert scenes in the movie, just phenomenal. Baby Let's Play House, that is one of the best movie music performances, acting, that I have ever seen. It was so stunning to see them recreate the Louisiana Hayride and just the entire atmosphere, the entire feel of all of that, and then with the sound of the music and the part where Elvis turns around real quickly, Austin Butler, and throws his hands up in the air and he's shaking, and that extra music that's added that the band is not doing is just gripping in that moment. So this movie, in my opinion, and I have not seen the other movies admittedly, but it's at least worthy of the nomination for the award. The sound is really great in the movie. Now, I do take some issue with some of the sound. I did myself personally struggle at understanding a lot of what Austin Butler was trying to say when he was trying to speak as Elvis. I had to watch the movie multiple times to pick certain things up. I did struggle with listening to him and hearing what he was saying. It could be my own personal hearing. So I don't know if it'll win the award for best sound, because I'm not the only person that said that, but I think they're going to go more for the concerts. So we'll see. Okay, the next one is makeup and hairstyle. Wow, they really nailed the hair, the makeup. It was great to make everybody look retro in the 50s, 60s, 70s like they did. They nailed it. That's not the biggest, most prestigious award, but I think that they did a bang-up job. So we'll see how that one goes. I don't know. There might be something else like Avatar might win or something like that. But I tell you what, they nailed it. Next one, production design. This is the movie sets. So for those of you that don't know, the movie was filmed completely in Australia, 100% in Australia. Everything you saw in that movie was fake. All the sets, Beale Street, Graceland, all the concert halls, everything was built in Australia in open fields, and it was dismantled and taken down after. The carnival scenes, everything that was all built just for the movie and then taken down after. Those sets were spectacular. That Beale Street looks like they found a location shoot and filmed it. No, it was all built for the movie. It was great. It was great. Graceland, the inside of Graceland, the outside, everything. It was all built for the movie. Fantastic stuff. Okay, next one. Costume design. This is a favorite for me. So I was fortunate enough to run into Catherine, who was in charge of wardrobe, costumes, any kind of threads in the movie. She was in charge of it. And I happened to run into her at the airport the other day leaving Memphis, and I was able to talk to her and tell her person to person how wonderful I thought she did on that movie. The attention to detail was superb. It was so well done. And she really appreciated it. And I said this in my last video, I'm going to say it now. It made my day to make her day, because I totally made her day. She told me I made her day, and that made my day to make her day. We made each other's day. So it was great. So the next one is cinematography. We're making our way to the end quickly. Cinematography, let's take the Trouble song, for instance. That, I'll show you a picture here. Just the way that it was shot is just fantastic. If you have not seen this movie, you really have to. And let me stop and talk about the movie itself for just a moment. There are a lot of people out there, not a lot, but there are some that did not like the movie, didn't understand the movie. It wasn't a favorite of theirs, and to each his own, and that's okay. There are factual errors. There are certainly timeline issues in the movie, but if you just take it as just a theatrical picture, as art, it's a phenomenal movie. And the first time I saw it, I really didn't care for it that much. And I told Baz Luhrmann that when I met him. I ran into him at the airport also. And I told him the first time I saw it, I actually lost sleep that night over it, because there was so much going on in the movie and it made my head just spin around in circles. And I wasn't sure what to think of it. And 2 days later, I had to go see it again. It really mixed my head up so much. Mostly the timeline errors really threw me off. And I told him that, and I told him that I had to go see it multiple times. The cinematography is one of the things about the movie that threw me off, but I really loved. And it's just something that you have to see. Next, we have film editing. This is one of the best parts of this movie. There's the concert montages from the 1970s that just fly by, and they do it on multiple screens to kind of recreate the original Elvis on Tour movie from 1972. The editing, it's just another one of those things where you just say, you have to see this movie to absorb all of it. And you have to see the movie multiple times because there's so much going on. That's one of Baz Luhrmann's signature things for all of his movies, is the editing. It's mind-blowing. It makes your head spin around in circles, the way he cuts a movie, the way he films a movie, the way he directs a movie, and puts it all together with the editing, with the help of his team, of course. It's not a one-man job. The concert montage, the That's Alright montage where they cut back to Big Boy Crudup, Elvis in the studio, Elvis in concert, Elvis in rehearsal, back and forth, back and forth. It's just absolutely great. It's just so good. It's so well done. So that's definitely deserving of not only a nomination, but a win. So the next two are Best Actor and Best Picture. So that's basically Austin Butler's award. Both of them, the Best Picture and Best Actor, is both is basically Austin, because he by himself makes this entire film. None of the other co-stars, including Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks is one of my top 2 or 3 favorite actors ever. I love Castaway. I love him in Forrest Gump. He is right up there for me. I thought he did a great job as Colonel Parker, but he was the villain role, and it is what it is. This movie takes it home with Austin Butler. His performance of Elvis is just spectacular. He's great. So if it wins Best Picture, it's because of Austin. And of course the Best Actor, because that's who he is. But I really hope that he wins it. I don't know if Lisa's passing will influence it a lot. It may or may not. I don't know how the voters are going to react, I should say, to that. It's supposed to be based on the movie itself, but I think some emotions might play into it. I hope it wins. So there's 8 nominations. I think that it could easily win 5 of them. I really hope that it wins Best Picture and Best Actor. If nothing else, Best Actor. I think Austin deserves it. He's fantastic in the role. Just wonderful in the role. I really am going for Best Picture. But who knows? So, and also check your local listings, because the movie is going to be back in the movie theaters next week. Look on Fandango, look up Elvis, and you'll see it's going to be there next week. So, tell me what you think in the comments. I know that the movie is controversial. Some people really, really love it. Some people hated it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Please be respectful. This is more just about the actors involved, and the directors and the writers and the screenwriters, or the production people, the costuming, all that. That's what this is about. Not bashing on the movie because you didn't like it. So if you didn't like the movie, you can say that. You're more than welcome to say that, but please be respectful. But this is a wonderful thing for Elvis. You know, I was just at Graceland for the memorial. It wasn't even for tours or anything like that we were there for, obviously. But the audience, the people in attendance, there was a huge contingent of teenage girls. There just were, and they're probably Austin Butler fans. But what it's going to do is turn more people onto Elvis, and it's going to help his legacy continue. So take it as a positive. Take it for what it is, instead of just bashing it to bash it and say, well, this was wrong and this was wrong. It's okay to say that, but just look at the bigger picture and look at what this is going to do for Elvis in the long run. And look what it's already done for us, the hardcore fans that are not Austin Butler fans because he played Elvis, but we're Elvis fans because of who he was. Look at all the pictures and the videos and the little clips and all the other projects that have come out since the movie came out as a direct response to the movie. There have been all kinds of pictures that have popped up that had not been seen before. They came up. Lots of things have come up since this movie came out, and it's directly as a direct result of the movie. So let's appreciate what we have, and let's honor this movie with some great awards. Again, I hate the award shows, but if we're going to have one, give it to Elvis. All right, I hope you like this little short video. I think it's like 10, 12 minutes long. That's much better than an hour. I want to get in and out of here, but the Academy Awards are coming up in a couple months, and let me know in the comments what you think. If you like the movie, that's great. If you don't like the movie, that's okay too. But I hope you like this video, and if you don't, it's because you ain't nothing but a hound dog. We'll see you next time.